Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say. The federal government of Nigeria has taken a significant step towards digital transformation by launching an online portal for citizenship and business permits. This innovative platform aims to streamline and simplify the processes associated with obtaining citizenship and various business permits, enhancing efficiency, transparency, and accessibility for citizens and businesses alike. It's a beautiful week, Friday rather, on your favorite primetime show, Ways, and my name remains Osayome Saleh. And today we're discussing this federal government newly launched portal. And yes, and we have our guest, Mukhtar Mohammed. He will be joining me much later. He's the CEO of Finance with Mukhtar. He'll be joining me much later to analyze the conversation around the citizenship and the business permits and how it's going to transform, the landscape in Nigeria. Now, remember, Ways is all about you. You are the wine Ways. So be a part of the conversation by, of course, heading onto our YouTube channel and hitting that subscribe button, liking, sharing, and inviting families and friends to also join our live shows. So please do that right now. When I open the phone lines, I would really love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Do you think this will truly transform businesses? Would it transform the ease and efficiency of doing things in Nigeria? Let's hear your thoughts. All right, as always, let me allow you ponder on my quote for the day. It says, the ministry remains committed to establishing a more efficient, transparent, and secure framework for citizenship administration while continuously enhancing service delivery through digital transformation. And this was from Magdalene Ajani. All right, so we'll delve into the conversation around this citizenship and business portal, right? Permit portal, much later. But first, let me run off on a break. When I come back from that break, I'll quickly breeze through my news interests for the day. Stay with me. Life is made up of moments, some that fill us with joy, others that test our strength. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space to explore the highs and lows of human connection, the love, the heartbreak, and resilience that shapes our life. From relationships to friendships, parenting to partnerships, and so much more. Every week, we share stories and conversations that define us, navigating love, separations, the struggles of parenting, dealing with anxiety and managing the pressures and stress of life. Real conversations that bring us closer, helping us heal, grow, and connect. So join me Mondays through Fridays at 10 p.m. for Heartlines, the show where we'll connect hearts, have real conversations with real people, one story at a time. All right, I want to start with a very interesting story. I found this quite interesting and amusing. So the minister, right, has lamented, the Minister for Education, Mr. Tunji Alausa, he has lamented that 85% of Nigerian foreign scholarship students don't return. So it says that 85% of Nigerian students sent abroad on government scholarship never returned to contribute to the national development. This came as he announced that tertiary institutions with fewer than 2,000 students will no longer be eligible for funding from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. He said this at a one-on-one engagement with heads of institutions, bosses, and procurement directors in Lagos, Alausa. In Lagos, rather. Alausa said that the federal government was repositioning the funding framework to ensure public resources are used efficiently. He continued, he said our evidence-based analysis showed that 85% of Nigerian students sent abroad on government scholarship never returned to contribute to the national development. He says many of the programs they studied could have been handled effectively within our institutions. He says to address this, he has said that 28 centers of excellence have been established across public and private institutions to offer postgraduate programs, enhance research, and create jobs. He said we are re-evaluating how institutions benefit from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, which is the TET fund. It now says we can no longer incentivize poor performance or underutilization. He noted that the inefficiency of allocating equal resources to underpopulated schools as those with significantly higher student numbers. He says several polytechnics established as far back as 2019 have only between 350 to 550 students enrolled, yet the same level of funding as the institutions with over 18,000 students, they are receiving. It says this is inefficient and unsustainable. Therefore, we have set a new benchmark. Any institution that after 5 years of operation still has fewer than 2,000 students may be deemed ineligible for TET fund support until they scale up their capacity. Yeah, it says the fund have been moving towards a more sustainable model of funding. This is in line with the broader objective to reduce institutions' reliance on government subvention and to encourage public-private partnerships, particularly in areas such as hostel development, innovation, parks, and service facilities. So I like that part where he talked about foreign students not returning. They won't come back, right? What are they coming back to? Right? What are they coming back to? So I've said this several times that every time I see the government in Nigeria trying to solve a problem, what they do is they are looking at the symptoms, right? So there is a problem with a tree. Instead of you to focus on how to get to the root of that tree to solve the problem, you are looking at the branches. Oh, this leaf is turning brown. So let us, let's try to treat the leaf so that it becomes green. No, that brown is something else that is causing it. So it's the same vein, right? If you send people abroad to go study, they go there, they see that things actually work. They see infrastructure. They see how systems work. I mean, nobody would want to come back to Nigeria, right? Because again, what are they coming back to do? What kind of work are they planning? I mean, would they be able? So the skill or the knowledge that they have gathered, right? They do not have the adequate facility to be able to, express, the newly acquired gifts or skills or whatever it is that they have acquired from the education. So, I mean, if you truly want to solve that problem, you need to, first of all, fix your system, ensure that we have a smooth running, country. Then, of course, nobody would not want to come back. A lot of foreigners from Asia, so China, India, and all of that, most of them go abroad as well, but they are all returning back. Because this government, they have seen clarity that, yes, there's direction and they truly want to, and they have been transforming their countries. So I think, the minister, I hear you, but I think what we need to focus on is why are they not coming back? So if you understand why they're not coming back, then you'll be able to solve the problem. And as regards the institutional funds and all of that, when you say that you're expecting some educational institutions to scale up, they really can't scale, right? Because, If you gave every Nigerian, for instance, an opportunity to pick a school that they would want to attend, nobody would be picking certain kinds of school. So it means that those schools, first of all, are they fit to be called educational institutions? If the answer is no, then you shut it down. But if it is yes, what do they need, right? Because once I know that if I go to this school, I will come out and, I will not find, there will not be difficulty in getting, an employment or even doing something meaningful with what I have learned. Of course, I will go to the school. So the fact that they are having, like, the numbers of students are not adding up and it's not, is not economically viable or whatever, it means that there's a root cause. So there's something wrong and they need to fix it from that point. I hope you get the point. Dear Minister, we are still waiting for you to come and tell us about JAM. All right, so I'll move on to the next story that says that Tinubu's economic reforms behind decline in April inflation. I'm not an economist, but let me just read what the story says. It says, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, on Friday said that the hard economic decisions taken by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are beginning to yield results following a fresh decline in the country's inflation rate. Idris stated this during the 8th edition of the 2025 Ministerial Press Briefing series that was held at the National Press Center in Abuja. Idris was reacting to the latest report by the National Bureau of Statistics, which showed that Nigeria's headline inflation rate dropped to 23.71% in April, down from 24.23% that was recorded in March. He said, I am pleased to announce encouraging news from the National Bureau of Statistics, which released the Consumer Price Index for April 2025. It says this has not happened by chance. The president's focused intervention are paying off, and the benefits of the reform, though gradual, are real and measurable. So the president is focused and is determined, and his administration and his interventions are seen as the benefits to reform, though gradually, but, they are measurable. Yeah, that's a repeat. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I would leave this to the economists. Maybe I would ask my guests, just to chip in a thought or two on this. What do they think? Is this, according to what the Minister for Information has said? All right, so I'll move on to my final story, ECOWAS, right? Yeah, ECOWAS court orders Ghana to pay $75,000 for detaining 30 unlawfully. All right, so the story says that the ECOWAS Court of Justice has ordered the government of Ghana, $75,000 in damages to 30 members of Homeland Study Group Foundation over their prolonged and unlawful detention. The judgment delivered on Friday at the Osborne Foreshore Court in Ikoyi, Lagos State, in a suit, right, declared that the Ghanaian authorities violated the applicants' fundamental human rights by detaining them for extended periods. It says some for over a year without trial or due process. Each of those 30 applicants is to receive $2,500 as compensation. Presiding over the case, the judge, alongside other judges, held the action of the Ghanaian government that it contravened both